Top three artists.
Any genre.
No, any genre. Top three artists.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
Well, top 3 artists of all time, dead or alive.
Top 3 artists.
Any genre.
I think we gotta put Michael Jackson.
That's one that always
And
comes to mind.
Prince.
Prince?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And number 3?
Top three artists.
Any genre.
No, any genre. Top 3 artists. I am gonna have to say, now when we say top 3 artists, are we just talking about musical catalog, talent, or are we talking about
Everything, all is.
just encompassing?
Right.
Pac gotta be up there.
I figured you were going to say Pop.
Yeah, I
gotta
was
be
waiting
up
for
there.
that. I was waiting for that
Pac
one.
has to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Influence.
So that's the 3.
And
That's it.
influence on the culture. Yeah, Mike, Prince, Tupac.
All day.
Now,
So
yes,
you know, that's
all
the
day.
most common 3 that we have since we've been asking that question. That's the most common 3 that
Them
we
the 3
have
that come to
here.
mind.
Then you'd have to say then there's something to that, right?
Yeah.
So, if I was going to have to venture off and talk about somebody else, then when you talk about influence and what they did, you would have to maybe go to like a James Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because James Brown was the guy that, he's one of the guys that owned his own music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was one of the guys, when we talk about, say Digital Underground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tupac came out of Digital Underground and Saphir and Mystic and,
Yeah.
we have this. Well, with James Brown, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton and Bootsy Collins came out of it.
Yeah.
Like all these musicians, Bernie Worrell, just like it's countless of musicians that played or came from James Brown's camp.
Yeah.
And tutelage, and the fact that even way back then he controlled his masters. He had his own record label. He was getting his own money. He was like the model before him, and maybe somebody before him, he had to learn it, but I don't think too many were owning their music,
That's real.
right?
Right.
So once he did it, now we know that it's possible to do. So we have to give James Brown
Yeah.
his pop's influence, and if there's no James Brown, there's no Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Right? Or Prince. Because they both say they learned
From him.
James.
from him,
That's real. That's true.
right?
How did who created Digital Underground?
Shock G.
Shock G.
The one that puts the satin on your
Right.
pants.
Yep.
Okay. I was just checking, how did he come up with that concept of Digital Underground and put all these people together?
I think 3 parts to that. right?
Okay.
How he came up with the exact name, I don't know, right? But in conversation, I do know that, Shock modeled the group in a way how Parliament Funkadelic had all these characters. And
Yeah, I remember he
Shock
said something like that.
never wanted to be a solo artist, because he's a musician.
He was a
wanted to
damn good musician.
produce. So even on the Sex Packets cover, you got people on the cover that don't even do nothing. He just wanted to make it look like a big group, and he always wanted us to be wear dark clothes, and if we could wear dark glasses, so that we were a little incognito where you couldn't always recognize, so we could be interchangeable and it could
Okay.
grow and it could be
Okay.
different
That's Shock
people.
G.
I see.
Right? And then when it comes to the name in conversation, we always tell people, like, we were digital when everybody else was analog.
Man, that's hard. I like that.
Because there was no digital age, really, coming into that. This is the going into the late 80s. We were digital.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then, of course, underground was, synonymous with hip hop. Hip hop
Yeah,
was
yeah,
an underground art form. Digital underground.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right? Put that thing together.
Man, thank you so
Smoke
much,
it.
man. Tell me.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.